Hi everyone, this is Cherie from Paper Pieces and Leftovers, and I know I've been gone for a while, but we're going to go ahead and ink a bear from marjorieanndesigns.com, and this bear is Franklin, and the file is Franklin Goes Flying. He is the yellow parachute flying Franklin, and in Cricut Design Space, my width is 11.0 and my height is 11.496, and that gives me the 2-inch wide from cheek to cheek that I always mention, face, because each block is an inch. And I've already pre-stamped my eyelashes, so I don't have to fuss with those. So we're gonna go ahead and ink all these in this video, and then I will upload another video of putting it together for everybody. Now, time and time again, glass mat, glass mat, glass mat. You guys can use a glass mat or a glass plate, even a glass tile. It doesn't really matter, but glass will make your life a lot easier if you're gonna start playing with the inks, because it's a lot less wasting, especially than putting it on paper, because the paper below it is gonna absorb all the ink. And I'll show you, if I don't use it all, how I clean it up. That way I don't have much waste and there won't be really any residual when I wipe it up with the rag. Or you can put it on the tip of the dauber and touch the dauber and pick it up as well. There's multiple ways. I do it both ways, but I just kind of wanted to show everybody, excuse me, how I do all of my pieces. And it's a lengthy process, that's for sure. I know I've been down for about a week. I haven't scrapbooked at all, and I'm finally feeling better, even though I have a little bit of a headache now, but that's all right. We'll work through this. This will make me forget about it. Okay, so if I had a lot of ink left over, I would just use my little finger dauber to clean it up, and then I just wipe up my glass with a damp rag. That way I can work on the next piece and there's no cross color contamination. So everybody asks where I get my pom-pom holder from. It comes in this, which is Pebbles. There's a whole bunch of different colors. I just like these chalks. They're creamy. They're like kind of wet. I don't know. They're not a gel, but they're not really wet. It's hard to explain. I actually love them. This is what I used for many, many years before I got into the ink, but these are so hard to find now. I kind of save these for special occasions, but I love my ink, so either way it doesn't really matter because it almost has the same effect, and some days I prefer using that over ink. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna daub my ink pad and then just slowly daub or lightly daub the inside of the lid, just to make sure that it's not an abundant amount of ink on here at one time, because you can always add more, but you can't add less. I hope everybody's well. I don't know about you guys. I usually watch Investigation Discovery ID, murder shows, why I scrapbook. Right now, it's on, but there's no volume. We have a station that I found. It's called Reels, R-E-E-L-Z, and it plays cops a lot, which I love for us here in California, Southern California. It's channel 117 with Spectrum. Anyhow, they have Cops and Cops Reloaded, which I love Cops, but they also have a show, Autopsy. He covers Marilyn Monroe. He looks at all the autopsy reports. He's a doctor, and he goes over, you know, what was missed, if there's anything else. He reads through everything. It's actually really interesting, and you get to hear a lot of their life and what they did before. My daughter's chiropractor actually has the ticket James Dean was written just a few hours before he died. He got it for speeding. And to think, if he would have went to jail, he probably would have still been here or died another day. So after I'm done, I just throw it in my little Taco Bell bean cup. That way I don't lose my pieces. I don't really know what to talk about when I sit here for, 50 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't want to kill anybody with boredom. Not a lot goes on in my life. As you guys know, my daughter is disabled. She was hit by a car while she was crossing the street in front of her high school in the crosswalk. The lady drove on the wrong side of the road to go around the kids that the school bus was allowing to cross. And I'm using Catherine Pooler Sauna for my yellow. But out of the 3 girls, because I was picking up my neighbor's daughter, my foster daughter, who I call my daughter, and my biological child. So both of my daughters and then my neighbor's daughter, because they all went to the same school, all 3 were holding hands while running across the street when the bus gave them the go-ahead. And the lady decided she didn't want to wait behind the cars or the bus and went on the wrong side of the road to go around the school bus and hit my child. My child went into the air. She came with the front end. She hit the front end, crumpled the driver's side front quarter panel. And then she went up in the air, came down, and then hit her head on the driver's side mirror. I'm trying not to choke up as I talk about this. Sorry. Okay, so my Brianna, who sometimes I've been told you guys can hear me yelling for her. Funny. Sorry about that. She's still a teenager. She just regressed, though, to... They got her at the equivalent of like a 12-year-old now, even though she just had her 18th birthday. She got hit when she was 15, just 2 months before her 16th birthday. And she has a traumatic brain injury and short-term memory loss, along with migraines. She remembers everything just about before the accident. But anything after, once she goes to sleep and wakes up, or even if a few hours has passed, she only retains about 15% of the day at the most. Basically, when she goes to sleep, her memory wipes itself and restarts the next day. We won the lawsuit, the settlement, whatever, because her insurance wanted my insurance to cover her car repairs. So I had to get an attorney because I didn't feel that my car insurance should be responsible for her poor decision making. I'm trying to keep my mouth clean because, even though I can say bad words, as I mark this not appropriate for children, I just know that some people watch it, not everybody uses bad words, so I'm trying to keep my language clean. Okay, so fast forward, she's got a neurology, we went to court, I had to do everything. I'm her power of attorney, she's considered an adult child, she just turned 18, and that is who I take care of all day long. If I ask her to do something, I can only give her one direction at a time. Normally you'll tell your kids, oh, go wash the dishes, pack your laundry up, make your bed, go do your homework, this, that, and the other. They're chores. Take out the trash. Well, you can tell her all that. She's not going to remember anything but the first one, if she even remembers the first one. And my husband and I have adapted to her, her needs, because sometimes it is a bit frustrating. It's hard to explain. It's frustrating because she gets frustrated with herself, because she knows she wasn't like this before the accident, and then, she asks why, and not having the whys is the hardest part. And I wish I had answers. It's my baby. We went to neurology, we went to therapist. We went everywhere trying to see if we could get it to resolve, and it didn't. So she is home all day with me, and now we're gonna see that Social Security should be able to help her get a job, because I know they work with disabled people. That way she can't get fired, and they'll actually work with her disabilities. Because she wants to work, but she's not going to be able to remember everything. That's the hardest part. But if she had somebody to work with, like folding clothes or rearranging products, stuff like that, with somebody that could direct her, she would get it done. Because she's a good worker if you're working with her. You just got to redirect her, and that's all she needs. But it's so she can make friends and meet other people that are disabled, and have more people around her that understand her, that are like her. And she needs back surgery, but we won't approve it. After my failed neck and back surgery, I don't want to take the chance with my daughter. I didn't have a choice because I was unable to use my left arm at all. And now I can use it, but I don't have any filling in it. So there's a plus side and a minus side of all of it, I guess. And he said he would make me 80% better, but he made me about 8,000% worse. And that's just honesty. I had to file a complaint against him, and they ended up firing him because I wasn't the only patient that was injured. But my daughter used to go to my grandma's to give me a break. As you guys know, if you follow me on Facebook, my grandma passed away February 15th, and that's been really hard for me. Sorry, I had to grab 2 more inks. And my daughter used to go to my grandmother's, who would have been 81 today, and she would go for the summer. And then once she started homeschooling after the accident, she would go a month and then come home for a week or 2 and go for another month. And I'm using Rouge by Catherine Pooler. All of my inks today are Catherine Pooler except for my peanut brittle for the muzzle. I just haven't played around with other colors to find another one that I like yet. If you need the color paper choices, just ask. I'll go ahead and give them to you, because I am going to tell you guys time and time again, I am a design team member for 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. If you need the link to get paper, let me know. But you need to get the swatch. It has been a lifesaver for me, because looking on the computer, the colors always look a little different, either brighter or lighter. And then when they get there, it's a surprise. The swatch is, I think, $12.95 or $11.95. I think $12.95. But it has been one of the best things in the world for me as far as picking out my colors. And for Franklin, I use caramel for my brown and oatmeal for my muzzle. And those are the 2 colors that I use from cardstockshop.com, and their numbers 71045 and 71562. But I played around with the colors, and those are the ones that I found out that I liked the most, that were almost 100% exact on from the ones I was getting from Hobby Lobby. But Hobby Lobby is always running out of my brown, and I special order it, and it's 79 cents a sheet, which, oof, that's horrible. It makes the cost for your pieces have to be higher if you can't find the paper on sale. And the 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop, I got the packs of paper cheaper than 79 cents a sheet. And you can order most of them in 1 or quantities of 25. I know the white and black I got in quantities of 60, and also crimson red, which that's what this one is. The other ones are 25 and 50, your other colors, like your brown, your yellows, your lighter colors. Now, I am going to be doing a couple kids, because there's a new product coming out, and once the video's done and posted on 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop, I can then go ahead and share it with you guys. The way that it works for me is I have to give it to them first so they can post it. Once it goes live on their site, then I can post it on mine. So that's why you guys don't always see everything yet. It's done, it's just not done for me yet. Okay, so now I used a charcoal gray for the goggles, and I'm using blackjack for the color. So back to what I was saying. Now my mom is taking my daughter for the summer. One, because my mom and my stepdad absolutely adore my daughter. And she's their favorite, of course. She was before the accident because she wasn't supposed to live. Brianna had leukemia when she was younger, a form of leukemia when she was younger. And she's been in remission now since she was 13, a little before 13. And she was born a micro-preemie. My baby was 3 pounds, 4 ounces. And she fought to live the whole time, and she's still fighting. So she's my little superhero. She may not know it. She's down at Nana's house right now, my mother-in-law's. Just so I can record and I don't have Needy Nelly coming at me, which is her. Now I'm going to do the earpieces. And I'm using Do-Si-Do by Catherine Pooler. I use the bigger ones just because I use them all the time and they stay out, versus my finger daubers go into the cases. But other than that, my life, we've adjusted, and she's adjusted. She knows that it won't change, but then the next day she forgets about it. So it's got its ups and its downs. She'll never be able to live alone. They decided that. She'll always need a payee. She'll always need a caretaker. And, for now I'm here. And then next in line, if something happens to me, God forbid, it'll be my husband or my mom or my youngest brother, depending on, the age I pass away, because we shouldn't outlive our children, right? But my youngest brother is only 12 years older than her. No, he is 14 years. Yeah, because he was born in 90. And Brianna was born in 03. Yeah, because he was 14. I had to think. I had to stop to think. That makes me feel like when, you're driving down the street looking for an address and you turn down the stereo, but you don't know why. Because there's really no purpose to turn the volume off to your stereo to look for the address. But I do it all the time. Don't ask. I don't even know if other people do that or if I'm just that special. Now for my muzzle, so far I found that Memento Peanut Brittle is going to be the best color for the muzzle because it gives it just enough definition where it's dark, but then not overpowering with color. So it just blends into the face smoothly. You don't have to use my colors. I'm just trying to help. I have people message me, what colors do I use? I don't mind helping. If you guys want your Franklins to look exactly like mine, I'm okay with that. I know one of the girls, she did bunnies with my eyelash stamp, and they are just the cutest thing. I'm going to post them on my page. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah, I'm looking for that. And I will share it to my Facebook page. So you can use the eyelash stamp on several things, several animals. I haven't used it on kids, but the animals, I've seen her use it now on mice, and then on the bunnies. And it has made everybody's life easier that they've replied to me, and they were a little nervous about the inking, but I showed them the video and they were just put at ease that it's not that much work. It's really easy for the stamp care. But who would have known that my eyelash stamp that I accidentally pulled out in a video would sell as much as it has? I'm always at the post office. The lady laughs when she sees me now. Today I went and shipped off quite a few of them, a bunch of them. And both boxes that I had, they were from my P.O. box. And she thought the boxes were full of the stamps. I was like, no. She's like, well, usually you bring me a ton. More story time. Oh, yeah, I got a funny story. Let's switch the tempo up because, I ramble. I think everybody does when you figure out you're talking to yourself. And what I just did, I don't know why I didn't tell you guys. I inked the edges of my white with blue. It's just a very, very light blue. Oh, my fingers. Anyhow, it's blue. That's my final answer. Let me put it down. There you go. That's just so it shows up, and I use Versa Magic, and then that one's going to be Sea Breeze. I have the pink one, which I use, like I said, if I'm doing a girl bunny or something that's white that I want just more petite, I use the pink. And if it's masculine, like a boy or snow, I use the blue. But these are the only 3 inks that I have that are not my Lawn Fawns or my Catherine Poolers. All right, so now for Franklin. Story time. So I went to the post office box last week, and I just did that. Whoops. Oh well, that's fine. I just have to get that off. I put my muzzle color into the brown because I didn't switch my, anyhow. So I went to the P.O. box the other day, and I grabbed all my mail and my packages, carried on. I get packages all the time, which is fine because Amazon and my husband's job and my scrapbooking, I have to order supplies and glue, paper, tape, whatever. Okay, so as I'm walking out of the post office box, I started opening the Amazon bag because it felt weird and I didn't recognize what I could have ordered that was in that package, because on my shop app it says notification, your package was delivered to the P.O. box. So I'm thinking, okay, well then when I look on Amazon, I don't see anything delivered, but the shop app says that it was through Amazon. Okay, so I'm walking out the door and I'm opening the package. And as I look at it, it has somebody else's name on it. And I'm like, oh shit, I've opened somebody else's mail. Well, I've already opened it, so I'm looking at it, and I'm driving now. It's a Hello Kitty gummy. So I said, well, I can't throw the package out at my house because they're going to know where I live. So I have to throw it out somewhere else. So I come home and I tell my daughter, do we call Amazon and then they let us eat the evidence, or do we just eat the evidence and dispose of, the proof? And she laughed and she's like, well, let's call Amazon. And her little boyfriend was on the phone. He's like, I sent that to her. I said, well, good thing we didn't eat it as evidence, because she would. I was debating whether to get scissors and cut it in half so there was no proof that we had it. Oh, man. The way things go, I tell you, it's always a ride for me. Every time I leave the house and drive, somebody is like intentionally trying to make me get in an accident. Even today, when I had to go to the post office. The lady, I'm doing 45 miles an hour. She pulls out, not even going 15 miles an hour. And I'm driving a big truck because my husband took the car today, so I'm driving his truck. And I only had to go to the post office, so I was like, yeah, I'll be fine in the truck, because if I drive it anywhere far, it kills my neck. Anyhow, she stuck her hand up in the window at me. I don't know for what, but I just kind of let it go. And I'm pulling up, but she's going to make a left turn, and we pull up next to each other, and she rolled down her window. So I rolled down my window, and I'm like, what? And she was like, you act like you don't have brakes. I said, well, speaking of brakes, you don't have brake lights. So what are you complaining for? And she's like, what? I said, you have no brake lights. You have half of the one on the trunk, but neither one of them on the bottoms on each side. They're both out. And she's like, oh my Jesus, thank you so much. You saw a complete, 360 of her attitude towards me at that point. But I was trying to get her to stop because I wanted to tell her she had no brake lights. And the lady was older. That's what shocked me. She was going to talk shit to me for her error, but then, only because I told her brake lights were out, that she was a different person. So I could see her being a Karen easily. That's just my analogy, is she is a Karen. I did not like that. Those are two-faced people, I think. Ones that are nice to your face and then are ugly behind your back. I don't know. My friends I've had for years, it's hard to meet new people. One, I don't go anywhere because of my daughter, and then because of me. But we get out of the house. We went to Universal. I can't get on a lot of the rides, but my husband gets on it with our daughter, and You can meet people, but I don't live anywhere near Universal, so there's really no point to get the phone number and hang out. Plus, I want to scrapbook, so I need scrapbooking buddies that live closer, you know? All right, the last ear. Now that I've rambled for the whole, however many minutes, 25 minutes, you guys got a little insight on my child, my adult child. I love my kids. I have more than one. I'm normally really private, but with those things, it's, if my daughter comes in and I'm recording and she doesn't remember I told her and she asks a million questions, I just want people to know why. The why is because she forgot that I told her I was recording, because probably 15 minutes has passed and her brain is already reset. So I just wiped off the glass because I wiped off all the little from those. And that's it for these guys. I am going to do the putting it together video after I get the eyes on. I did not do the cheeks. So what I get asked about is, what do I use on the cheeks? And my answer to that is I use my brush sticks. It's by Imagine. I got them from Amazon. And then for my cheek colors, you guys are gonna hate me, Stampin' Up! Pastels. I'm going way back old school because, you know, we don't throw anything out as crafters. And I use this one right here, which is Pretty in Pink. And then I use a touch of the Ruby Red, just a little bit, just to darken it up. But I use these two. So I have 10 of these, and I love them. I have tons and tons of chalks, if you guys only knew. But I used to scrapbook nonstop. I just took a break for a little bit and decided today that I wanted to get back on and scrapbook. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Even if it's about cutting the eyes out, because like I said, I did the video where I show you how to import the SVG from your Facebook Messenger into your computer, into the program. And then if you have silhouette, the sizing is different. But I cut out hundreds at a time. That way I'm not having to cut them out for each bear, because I do the heads all the same size. So it's not a problem just to pull out the sheet and take the eyes off the sheets. And I have a mat for each one. They were out of my black 12 by 12 paper at Hobby Lobby, and I quit going there. Now I only order my paper from 12 by 12 cardstock shop, and I actually have it. It is on another mat, if you guys only knew. So here is my girly colors. Hold on, let's turn this a little. This is my mats for my girly colors. This is all my pinks, peaches, purples, yellows, whites. And then smooth black cardstock for my eyes from 12 by 12 cardstock shop, and it's 12 by 12. And then I have mats for my boy colors, purple, brown, or brown, blue, green, and black, and gray. And then I have another stack. You can call me crazy, that's all right. I'm a hoarder. I have another stack, and these are for my specialty papers. But it just makes it easier for me to have all the mats, because I would rather invest in a lot of mats and take care of them. I've had some mats now for 15 years. This one here, let me get it off. There we go. This one here is from the Cricut, the HP Cricut. I think it's the Imagine. It's digital, it's huge, it's a printer. These came with it, and it's a printer and cutter. And it had cartridges, and yeah, anyways. It was so heavy, and I just quit using it. My grandma bought it for me, and then the ink refills, and then I forgot how to use it, and I don't know where the gypsy is. But I've had some of these mats for 15 years, but I get the other ones from Hobby Lobby because they're 50% off. It ends up like buy one get one free, and they're $15 for four mats if you buy 2 packs at $7.50 a piece, and they go through the quick cut just fine. And they're Paper Studio. I love them. So yeah, if I don't keep peeling off, and I only peel off as I go, these mats last forever with the stick. And then to wash them, you spray them with Windex and you let it set only about 2 minutes, because if you leave it on longer, it's going to take off all the gum, the sticky. And then you use one of your little scrapers or an old credit card, and you lift up all the paper fibers. And then you take a damp rag and you wipe off the Windex, and you put it to the side, let it dry for about 5 minutes, and then it's nice and sticky, and pick your paper up. And what I do is I take my corners down too. That just gives it more reinforcement, so my paper never lifts. But I'm going to end this video now that I have yapped for 30 minutes and my jaw hurts, LOL. I'm going to get my eyes done on the bear, and then I will do either tonight or tomorrow the paper piecing video. Any questions, let me know in the comments, but thank you for following. And I'm going to go ahead and attach just a little clip of the file I'm working on in the beginning, just so you can see. But this is the little guy that I'm working on. I'm having hand tremors today. That's what the shaking is. Sorry about that. I look forward to seeing the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.